We're going to do a meditation and activation, working with the soul, and I don't want you guys to fall asleep and fall off your chairs here, so we'll move pretty quick with everything. So if I was here 2 years ago and we did a sacred heart activation, and I know there was quite a few of you that were here 2 years ago and we did that activation, and we're going to do that again tonight. So my name is Brian Besco from South Dakota. I drove 1,101 miles to come hang out here, which is a fantastic drive, and really happy to be here with all you guys. 2 years ago when I was here speaking, I met some really phenomenal people, had a lot of inspiration here. But what we did 2 years ago was we did the Sacred Heart activation, which you always see the picture of the Sacred Heart with the trifold gold flame heart that Jesus and Mary is always depicted with. It's something that my sister and I and another person in Denver, Colorado, Jeanette Crowley, who wrote The Eagle and the Condor, Soul Body Fusion, we got together in a gathering and we found a way to take the Pope's keys and get through the pearly gates, the white gates, and then we found this red gate, and we said we are the key. We got through there, and we received the Sacred Heart activation, which it's something that is, it's beyond religion and beyond belief systems. It is a part of the human. And so with this golden fire, the Sacred Heart, we'll do that quick and easy activation where we bring in your soul, and your soul is the one that does the activation for you. And anytime we do any of our work, we always start from within the sacred space of the heart. So there's the difference between the Sacred Heart and the sacred space of the heart. Within the physical heart, it's an electromagnetic generator. It creates an electromagnetic field, a toroidal field about 6 miles across. And there's also brain cells within the heart. So when we were first born, our consciousness, which we see as a little ball of light, size of a marble, it was in the heart. At some point in time, we moved right up into the head with our consciousness. It sits right behind the pineal gland, and it looks out our physical eyes. It sees the world separate from us. And when our consciousness is here, it is very much influenced by the emotional field, by the soul level belief system that the ego carries throughout all of our incarnations. We've just been doing a lot of work recently in the past 2 years with the soul and working on clearing out programs that were put into the human since the beginning, as well as working with these belief structures that we carry through lifetimes. So over the course of the weekend here, we're going to be doing a little bit of that work of allowing the release of programs, beliefs, emotions, traumas through this lifetime and through all lifetimes. But it can be super simple and easy. So we're going to first go into that sacred space of the heart by moving our consciousness from here into the heart. We do this with 3 breaths. So if you'd like to, just close your eyes if you wish, or you can leave them open. But we want to just put our attention onto the physical heart. Within the physical heart is where we see our light, our soul's fire. Just using your imagination, imagining connecting heart to heart with the earth and breathing in that light of the earth up through the feet, right into the heart. Next, we're going to connect heart to heart with creation, source, soul, creator, God, central sun, however you see and say that. Breathing in that light into the heart. The third breath of this Trinity breath is breathing in both earth and sky, bringing both energies together with you. You are then grounded in with the earth. You are connected to source creation. You are that column of light that's in the heart. Now, as we're in the sacred space of the heart, this is where we ask the soul to stand before you. To me, I'll see the soul as a golden luminescent being. Perhaps you see it as an orb or just feel it as an energy. You don't have to see, but our intention is to activate the Sacred Heart. The soul comes in, puts its hand on your heart. Take a deep breath in, and it activates that Sacred Heart, that golden fire, that golden light of the heart. Now you can use your imagination and visualizing intention to watch that energy, that golden fire or that golden light flow into every cell of the body, in between every cell. If you have an ache or a pain in the physical, you can wrap it up with that light. If there's a life situation that's personal, that's bothering you, imagine sending that light out, wrapping it up, and letting it go. That light is your soul, your consciousness. It's that Christed light. And it has a higher perspective. So anytime we do the energy work that we're doing from within the heart space, it's a surrendering to the soul and allowing the soul to do what is in your highest and best good, as determined by your soul. So now we can come back, and if you'd like to open your eyes, bring your attention to your body. This is what it's like having your eyes open and being in this world and in that heart space at the same time. The world can look different because your soul is looking through your eyes. You see the world from a whole different perspective when you are in that sacred space of the heart. So the chalice, and any of you who do know of me and my work, my family's work, Twisted Sage Studios in the Black Hills of South Dakota, my sister I consider to be one of the most phenomenal energy workers on the planet. She's a humble country gal, raises high vibration beef cattle, but she's a person who is so connected with her heart and her higher soul self that she doesn't get taken down different rabbit holes of beliefs. And so she very much keeps me on track and in line. But, you know, my sister, gosh, people have, like, let's say we've seen people with fist-sized tumors in their lung, one telephone call later, she helps them bring in their light, wrap it up, and 2 weeks later it's gone. I mean, people with pancreatic cancer sent home to die, she helps them by bringing in their light, doing the work, and they're great after that. For me, like, let's say for an example, I get a rib that's out of place, all I do is text my sister, and I can feel it being pushed back into place. I mean, it's phenomenal stuff. So the energy tools that we create at Twisted Sage Studios, which we have the giant copper pyramids over here, clear over on this side of the property if you guys want to come check it out at all this weekend. If I'm not there, feel free to just stand in the pyramids. There's floor plates that you stand on with all the copper rings. But they hold the same field as what it is that we're going to do next is this chalice energy. So throughout my 12 years of being on this path, I always considered myself like the galactic police. I thought I was always out there trying to assist humanity because I always felt like there's these big beings that were violating the free will of humanity. And so we always went toe to toe with these beings and bubble them up and take them back to the central sun for recycling and all that fun stuff. Then at one point in time, we were told, hey, these all have a spark of divinity within them. We live in this universe of duality. So everything here is totally divine. So that was my first workings with seeing something that is big, dark, and apparently evil, to looking within the heart and finding that spark. And then for years too, Archangel Michael, he'd always ride on my left shoulder and everybody would be like, Michael, why are you so dark? And he'd say, well, I'm helping Brian integrate the dark and the light. Oh man, I hated that, especially for the first 5 years. I was like, no, I'm a light being, damn it, I'm here to fight the dark. And that was just part of the whole growth and learning, to be able to see the darkness without judgment. And to be able to see that spark of divinity in everything. And so for the past 12 years, it's been about duality. And for me, in my studies and my learning and my growth, it's been about this universe in duality, the dark and the light, the yin and the yang. We always see the two marbles, the dark and the light. The light, the white one, it's always the self-righteous one who denies the dark. It's like, no, I don't want that. So the dark carries it. So you have a dark and a light, and that is the driving force of all creation within this universe in duality. It's the dark and the light. They're always trying to bring a balance, and that is what is the motor of creation as we see it. So when we found this crystal clear, pure consciousness light that came through pretty close to a year ago, it presented as this crystal clear marble. And it showed that it came in with the duality, and the dark and the light just let go while they were in this space with this crystal clear pure light, because this chalice energy doesn't take on the dark and it doesn't take on the light. It just is. So we started playing with this crystal clear pure consciousness light, and throughout the past year we've seen the synchronicities and found that it was something that came from the chalice. It was that chalice cup that was carried by the Essenes and then the Knights Templars. And this energy of the chalice is something that when we bring it into ourselves and we become the chalice for this crystal clear pure consciousness light, it shifts things. So now then with my sister, instead of doing the energy work that she used to, we hold a person with this chalice energy and things are uncreated. So instead of healing, we are allowing the soul to go through and uncreate creation that no longer serves. And that is really the first step of us being creators right here in human form, in this world, in this universe, is that we are uncreating those things that we created that were perfect for the duality experience, the soul growth, the learning, all the stuff that we've experienced throughout all of our lifetimes here. It's always been, a little rough. And so a lot of the work that we see energy healers and workers doing is clearing these traumas that affect us in this here now, but aren't from this lifetime. They're from wherever we are as a soul, and they're coming in and they affect us. So I don't know if there's any energy workers or healers here that do that style of work and that can see that a lot of the things that affect us are not from this current lifetime in reality, that they come in and they cause physical, mental, emotional issues. So with this chalice energy, for the human, the soul is coming through and just mopping up all those things that no longer serve us. And that's why this whole paradigm, it seems, over the past couple of years has been the surrender to the soul and the allowing of the soul, because us as a human have a very small perspective of what we think is in our highest and best good. And that's why we say that it's in the highest and best good, and we just automatically say as determined by our soul. I mean, that's just something that we say to ourselves, the highest and best good as determined by the soul, because our perspective is way different than our soul's perspective of what that would be. So the surrendering. So to do this chalice activation, it's just simply, we're going to do like what we just did. It's go into the sacred space of the heart, and we're going to go to the quantum mind. We're going to balance the brain hemispheres, go to the quantum mind, the higher mind, the field of neutrality, and then the soul is going to bring in this chalice energy into the body, and that's it. And then we'll be done. So here we go. All right, so again, it's just closing the eyes if you wish. You can leave them open if you wish. Putting your attention onto the physical heart, and we do the Trinity breath, breathing in that light of the earth up into the heart, the light of creation into the heart. As we bring them both together, within the light of the heart is the light of you, the light of earth, and the light of creation. That is the Trinity. And we see ourselves as that column of light that's grounded, connected, and we're in the heart space. Now we're going to use our imagination and taking that golden fire from the heart and bringing that up to the throat, and then bringing that golden light up to the pineal gland, right in the middle of the brain. We just set that pineal gland on fire. Next, we're going to imagine that infinity, the figure 8 on its side, and it's just connecting the left and right brain hemispheres. It's opening up that right brain, connecting the left and right brain, just imagining infinity after infinity. Now that infinity goes upwards from the pineal, it goes upwards to the higher mind. We're going to go higher, beyond the mind, to that space of all-knowing, to that field of neutrality. And then we're going to ask the soul to bring in that crystal clear, pure light of the chalice and bring that into your physical. So your physical becomes that chalice that carries that light. And as it comes in, it does the work automatically. The chalice energy is not one that we can direct this light with. It is its own consciousness. It's the consciousness of Creator. It's the consciousness of your soul, as they are one and the same. So it's just an allowing, a surrendering of the releasing, the harmonizing, the clearing, the uncreating of those things that no longer serve us, whether it's an ache, a pain, a disease, an illness, a life situation. And then we just let it go. So that's it right there in its simplicity, is this chalice energy. And I can feel all of you have your sacred heart activated, and you are carrying that chalice energy if you so choose. That's between you and your soul. And I see you're all connected with it. So throughout the weekend, we're going to, Sunday night is where we're going to finally bring everything together with anchoring these columns of light. And we will be working with some other higher dimensional tools that are going to bring through that sacred heart, that golden fire, as well as this chalice energy when we anchor columns of light. And these columns of light are held by Gaia. They're held there within that sun of the earth, and they're held by creation, and they're held by us. And these columns of light are, there's something that you can do along with the Holy Grail vortex. It just brings a whole nother layer of energy to it. And it's just it's a simple thing, because everything we do, we try to do simple, so we're not going back up into the head with the complicated things. But all right, I'm just going to stop right there so that we can light a fire and get on with it here tonight. So thank you.